I wrote down a few points that I wanted to talk about, and one of them was exactly the thing we just talked about. So the diet, what do you have to eat, or should you eat? And I want to start off with the one thing though, because as we just said, and this is the thing I like about you, is that you said you don't care about the scale, the actual weight. You care about looking good, and this is what I always tell to people, because people always are stuck on the number. You know, I want to lose this much. I want to get to this point, which is not a bad thing by itself. But people have to understand that their true goal is not really going down to the scale. That is just a consequence of losing fat. But imagine you lost fat and gained muscle, okay? Which is totally possible if you are a beginner. The scale doesn't tell you anything. The scale literally doesn't tell you anything. You gain like 3 kilograms of muscle and you lose 3 kilograms of fat. That's a fucking huge progress. The scale doesn't tell you anything. So this is why I fucking like kind of despise the scale, okay? Because also the scale doesn't tell you how much water is in you, how much glycogen you have, which affects the weight. There is a lot of fluctuations throughout the day that affects the weights. So, so this is a great thing. You just want to look good, and to look good, guess what you have to do? Okay, you have to lose fat, but you also have to, you know, have a little bit of a frame of some muscle. Okay, I didn't have muscle when I started, and muscle really helped. Okay, I'm gonna get in a moment why I think getting muscle is more important than doing cardio. But let's start with the eating. So your diet is not very complicated. Okay, so you just have to. This is a rule you have to stick to. Okay, you can, let's just say you can eat as much as you want. Okay, because you said you struggle if you don't eat, and I totally agree with you. Like, eating is fun. Okay, it feels good. It feels good, and you are a fucking person, so you have to eat somehow. Obviously, if you have so much fat that you can go fasting, you probably don't need to eat that much. But hunger is regulated by hormones. Okay, hunger is regulated by leptin, and one thing that the junk food companies and sugary treats companies do is they like to fuck up your hormones. They don't do it intentionally, probably just a side effect of eating too much junk food. But there is stuff that happens when you eat a lot of junk food and sugary stuff that will basically mess up with the leptin signaling and ghrelin signaling. Those are the two hormones that regulate appetite and satiety. Okay, leptin is a satiety hormone. So if you are eating too much, okay, it is probably because when you eat, let's say you eat some cereals, okay, some kind of sweet cereals. Do you ever notice that when you're eating them, you just never feel satiated? You just keep eating, okay? There is an effect that sugar has on your brain. It just blocks leptin. This is the crazy, the crazy thing about junk food companies and their mechanism. Like they kind of make the food to be not really satiating, so you eat more and you want to buy more. It becomes an habit, and that is something we don't want. The way to fix this, okay, to reverse this effect, is literally eat whole food. Okay, what I mean by whole food is something that, for example, 300 years ago we could have ate. Okay, so I'm talking about meat, eggs, nuts, and nuts are good. Okay, I love pistachios, they're so fucking tasty. Vegetables, if you want, fruits, what else? Potatoes, okay, sweet potatoes. You fucking decide. Butter. I mean butter. No, it is fat. It makes you fat. No. It's fine as long as you just don't eat junk food and sugary stuff. You're good. Okay, this will be your diet from now on. Literally something that you can buy at the store, which is one ingredient. I'm gonna show you a picture. I just went to do the groceries, and I wanna show you a picture of what I just bought. Okay, and this is what I bought. Literally, I don't know if you can see. Let me show you like this so I can see. Okay, I just bought strawberries, oranges, eggs, ground beef, ground beef, and some. This is kefir, and it is just like fermented food, which helps with the gut microbiome. But don't worry about this stuff. And then there is milk, and then there is pistachios. Okay, salted pistachios. This is all good stuff. Berries. Okay, this is fruit berries. They're all good stuff. If you just eat this kind of food, okay, over and over, the meat, you decide the meat. I bought ground beef or ground pork. I don't know. It's like, what's the mix? You can just eat a fish. Okay, all these foods that are whole. Yogurt. Okay, yogurt is great. You just have to eat something that you can. It's like one ingredient, okay? Ground beef. How many ingredients is beef? Okay, it's meat. Eggs. How many ingredients are in eggs? Eggs. Okay, it's just eggs. Potatoes. You buy whole potatoes and you cook them in the oven with vegetables. Okay. I used to do this recipe. It was so fucking delicious. I just took in a tray. I will place some roughly cut. You don't have to be precise while cutting potatoes. With the skin on. Okay. I don't even peel them. I just wash them, cut them up in a tray. Put some cut up eggplant, some cut up, I don't know, any vegetables, to be honest. Zucchini, it can be bell pepper, it can be pretty much anything, okay? I used bell pepper and eggplant, and that's it. I put it in the oven with a lot of oil and salt, olive oil, okay? Don't use seed oils. Okay, one other thing that you have to avoid is seed oils, okay? So on the list we have of things to avoid is seed oils, sugar, and this rules out pretty much every junk food, okay? Because all junk food has seed oils, which is canola oil, sunflower, cottonseed oil, rapeseed oil, soybean oil, okay? All these kind of weird oils. The only fats, okay, that you will eat will be butter. They can be animal fats, okay, like natural fats, not like these processed seed oils, vegetable oils. They're fucking awful. And olive oil, okay, extra virgin olive oil. So I'm lucky I live in Italy, so we have a lot of olive oil here. It's like a culture of olive oil here. But if you're not here, in Italy, I suppose you're not, go ahead and buy olive oil, or go ahead and buy grass-fed, preferably, butter, okay? Ghee, okay? Ghee is basically the butter, but only fat, okay? Because plain butter also has some a little bit of lactose, some proteins of the milk. Ghee is literally only fat. That is like oil, but from animal derivatives. So you can be any oil. You put these fats, okay, potatoes, vegetables in a tray with some salt. You put it in the tray, in the oven. You turn on the oven and you just wait. That is fucking delicious meal, okay? I love that. And it is something that is very filling if you're trying to lose weight, especially. It will fill you up as like a lot. Not like fucking cereals, Fruit Loops, chocolate bars or shit, or chips, okay? They don't fill you up. Holy shit, no, they don't fill you up, because they are already digested, okay? What is happening when you eat some junk food, okay, some ultra-processed food, is that the food you're actually eating has been processed so much that the enzymes that should break down the food don't break down the food, because it is already broken down. So it skips your stomach, because basically all the ingredients that compose most junk food, aka carbohydrates, are not really processed in the stomach. The stomach is useful to digest proteins. So mainly, this is why many people say that meat is satiating, because proteins is what is stuck in the stomach. Okay, fats and carbs usually just skip the stomach because the stomach cannot do much to them, and just go to the intestine when there is this tissue called like villi and microvilli that basically host a lot of enzymes and breaks down the food. Fancy words just to say that the ingredients that compose carbohydrates, the ingredients that compose junk food, so these weird refined starches and shit, they just don't get digested. They skip through your digestive tract. They get immediately absorbed, and you just don't feel full, okay? Because it skips your digestive system. Not only this, but you remember I mentioned the gut microbiome before, fermented foods, which, by the way, is very essential to your health. If you eat junk food, okay, the food that should feed the gut microbiome is living in symbiosis. What's the word? Symbiosis with you. And basically, what you eat, you don't digest fully. Obviously, if you eat an apple, it's not like you're gonna absorb all of it. There is quite a lot of the apple that is not digested that will go through your colon, the large intestine, and that is the place where the gut microbiome lives. And guess who eats that piece of apple? The gut microbiome. This is why it is important to eat whole food, because if you eat pre-digested, ultra-processed foods, nothing will arrive to the gut microbiome. So you will also fuck up the gut microbiome. So a whole mess just to say that eating whole foods is fucking important. So don't eat processed foods, because it will only make you more hungry and more craving for that food. Give it 2 weeks, okay? Just do not eat sugar stuff. I'm gonna show you the reason you were so relatable, because you said you always eat random stuff, and I said me too. I'm genuinely saying that So here I have a closet, a drawer, sorry, and 2 years ago here, when I was, the first picture I showed you, I was a little bit fat. I was not fat always. I was skinny, but when the epiphany came, okay, and my parents gave me candies, I stored them in this closet, and once I finished them, I went and bought more. Okay, I was like, oh, I want this like sweet sugary chocolate. I want these chocolates and this shit. So I went and bought it, and I put it here. This fucking closet, this fucking drawer was filled with candies and junk food. Now there is nothing. This is just licorice sticks. Licorice sticks. This is 90%, so very fucking bitter and not sweet dark chocolate. Which honestly I don't even eat it much. And this is an old memory. This is like sugary pills. I left them here. I literally leave them here just to remind myself that I was able to fucking quit sugar. And this was just filled up with bullshit. And these whole things, when I stopped eating sugar, I was like really determined. I wanted to change myself, so I just didn't eat that stuff. My parents came in once in a while. I was like, Fede, do you have some M&Ms? Do you have some sweet stuff? I was like, yeah, sure. I gave it to them. That closet was empty after a few months. So I had the temptation next to me. I resisted. Okay, this is what you have to do. You have to resist for a bit. Okay, and trust me, the cravings will slow down. Okay, because your gut microbiome is not gonna. Basically, there is a very funny thing about the gut microbiome. When you don't treat it well and you eat a lot of sugar, a culture develops which basically send signals, okay, to your brain that says, oh, feed me sugar, okay? It's like very childish ways to explain it, but depending on the culture, the type of microbes that live in your gut, they can influence your cravings. So if you have a bad microbiome, you will crave more sugar because they control your neurons. They want to say, oh, send sugar, so you feel, I want to fucking eat sugar, okay? So once your microbiome is fixed, after a few weeks, I think it's gonna be way better. So if you just eat whole foods for 2 weeks, and it's not fucking boring, bro. Whole food is delicious if you fucking eat it right, okay? Many people say, I don't wanna eat clean because it is boring and it tastes bad. No, it is not. I don't fucking get you. How can you dislike potatoes cooked in butter? It's literally like French fries, but better. I don't get it, okay? So just cook whole foods, search up a few recipes on the internet, and swap the things that are not whole, okay? Maybe they ask you to use seed oils. Obviously, don't use seed oils. Use butter. Use olive oil, okay? This is what you have to do. Search up a few recipes online if you want, or ask your mother to teach you some recipes she knows. Just try to invent something that makes you like your food. Trust me, with whole food you can make delicious meals. I went honestly at the beginning of my journey. I just went food discipline, like I don't care if it tastes bad, like I'm just gonna eat. But slowly I just implemented a few things that made the food taste good, and at the end I discovered 6 pillars. Okay, 6 things you have to keep in mind to have the food taste good. I like to call these pleasure hypotheses. Actually, these 6 things are just a part. Okay, the first is the physical domain of the pleasure hypothesis. The pleasure hypothesis is like composed of a physical domain and a mental domain. Okay, this is physical, meaning the hardwired things that you like. The mental domain is more wired to the taste, flavors, preferences, the way you were brought up to the world. So maybe they told you this is healthy for you, so you like it more, and something like the mental stuff. Okay, and the physical domain though is very fucking relevant. It includes, I'm just gonna tell you the 6 pillars. I really suggest you watch the full video I made. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you. So there is salt, fat, umami. Umami is fucking important. If you don't know what umami is, you will be surprised at how much you can make your food taste good if you just add some umami. Umami is a taste of the tongue, okay? So we have salt, fat, umami, acidity, sweetness, and digestibility. Digestibility is why you like bread. It's why you like pasta. It's why you like potato chips that are very processed. It's why you like processed food, okay? So this is a bit of a dangerous one, but it can still be used in your kitchen if you know how to use it. So go watch the full video if you are more interested in how to make your food taste good. But I really suggest you just eat whole food, and it is not boring, okay? It is also very filling, so I don't know how you can go wrong with that, but this is basically how you want to eat. Eat whole foods, no matter what. Don't give in cravings, okay? Just withstand it a few, like 2 weeks. Honestly, the first period I went through this, I didn't even eat fruit, okay? I was so obsessed with defeating the sweet tooth I had, I didn't even eat fruit. What you can do if you want to do my same thing, though I don't know if you're ready to do this, I don't know how motivated, how dissatisfied you are. If you want to really if you're very focused, like you really want to change yourself, you can do how I did, but if you're not that sure you can do this, just go with fruit. But what I did was the first period, maybe it was 2 weeks, 1 month, I don't remember. The first period I didn't eat fruit, and then I added fruit back. Bro, when I added fruit back, it tasted so fucking good. I love fruit now. I fucking love fruit. What you can do if you don't feel like... The reason I do that is because when you add fruit back, you are more grateful if you don't have anything sweet for 2 weeks, for example. But yeah, you can also go with fruit from the beginning. And when you have a sweet tooth, go for the fruit. It will satisfy you. It is very fucking sweet. Many people it is very underrated. Fruit is for people who eat junk food. I don't know why they think fruit is something doesn't taste good. No, it's fucking delicious. I don't know what is wrong with you. Fruit is fucking sweet. Okay, so don't think that fruit is bad because it is healthy. It's actually very fucking sweet. So go with fruit if you wanna satisfy your sweet tooth, and you will be fine. Okay, this was about the diet. I wanna get to the next point, which is resistance training. Okay, so I think I read a post of yours that said, what is exactly like this weightlifting? Okay, and I want to tell you that. So weightlifting is a type of resistance training. Let's go with resistance training, because resistance training is what you need. Okay, you don't need necessarily weightlifting because you can build a good physique, a good body, good muscle with bodyweight exercises. I do calisthenics. Okay, I don't go to the gym. I go to the gym to do MMA. Okay, mixed martial arts. I don't go to the gym to lift weights. I could, I just don't, because I'm used to doing workouts at home. So you can go with any resistance training you like. Resistance training, in my definition, I don't know if it is the technical truth, but it is literally anything that builds muscle. Maybe it comes from resistance, so maybe you're training against some resistance and thus you gain muscle, I guess. But it is basically anything that builds muscle. Calisthenics builds muscle, okay? Why is this so important? Why you need this so much? So I noticed that all your goals align with resistance training. Okay, you want to lose fat. How do you lose fat? You have to consume more calories than you expend. That's very common knowledge. And how do you make sure that you are consuming more than what you ate? Okay, well, if let's say this is how much you consume throughout the day and this is how much you ate, okay, so you consume this much, you have to have a calorie, like a deficit, okay, a calorie deficit. And you can build this, many people say, by cardio. So walk every day 30 minutes, it will consume more calories. Honestly, I don't think that's the best idea to do cardio to, you know, remove some calories, because in my experience, when I do cardio, I come back home, I'm so hungry, I wanna eat the fucking world. Okay, I came back from a hike and I called my mom, okay, not to pick me up. I asked her, hey mom, what do we eat today, like this evening? What do we eat? Because I wanna eat double of it. My cousin, okay, I was hiking with him. He ate two fucking pizzas. When you do cardio, you are so fucking hungry later. And this was from my experience. When you do resistance training instead, you consume the same amount of calories, okay? Maybe a bit less compared to the time spent. But let's say you consume the same amount of calories, you don't feel so hungry. I don't know why. You just don't feel so hungry. Plus, okay, this was the benefit of not feeling hungry, so you don't overeat the calories you should. It also, how's that said? When you do cardio, you basically concentrate a large amount of calorie burning. But what happens, to my understanding, is that throughout the rest of the day, you just balance. Okay, so if you consumed a lot of calories here, throughout the rest of the day, your metabolic rate will just decrease, and you will just consume less calories to compensate for the hard work you did. Okay, so this is speculation. I think it works like this. I saw a few videos, a few scientists talk about this, but this is what happens. So it's not like the best idea, I think, for losing weight. for losing fat to be in a calorie deficit. Not only this, okay, the thing I wanted to get to why resistance training is so good is because not only it builds you muscle, okay, and it doesn't make you feel fucking hungry, it also helps you burn more calories. Not through the exercise itself while you do the exercise, but in the long term, in the long run, when you build muscle and you build strength, which happens pretty quickly in a beginner, the muscle you build will basically consume more calories AFK. You know when you are AFK, like, and you're basically doing nothing. I think you know the term AFK. You just consume more calories. When you are AFK right now, let's say you consume in a day, if you are AFK, you consume 2,000 calories. If you have more muscle, you don't consume 2,000 anymore. You will consume 2,500 just by having more muscle. Just by existing muscle makes you burn more calories without even using it. Okay, because you have to sustain. You have to make this muscle even when you slightly move. You just consume more calories. So this is fucking great about muscle. That's why like fit people that have muscle don't usually get overweight, because they have this metabolic rate that is increased thanks to the muscle they have. Okay, so this was long story short why weightlifting has so many cross benefits in your goals that you have to do it, because you want to look good, okay? And if you want to look good, you need some muscle anyway, so may as well do some resistance training. And you can do it at home. Calisthenics is a good option. If you have some weights, you can do something. Hit me up if you want to know about this bodyweight training. And yeah, the last thing, this was the big thing about resistance training, is why you need it. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. So the last thing is just you gotta be realistic, because let's say you have 2 months. I think you said you have 2 months, and you will have to understand that you will have to put in some work. It's not gonna be a piece of cake. I mean, from the eating perspective, I think it is easy, because if you follow my diet, my diet philosophy, meaning you eat as much as you want, but of clean foods, without no exception, no cheat days of sugary treats. You don't have them, but you can eat as much as you want of clean food. Okay, that's the caveat. That is kind of an easy thing. Maybe if you're still a little bit hungry, okay, it is okay to be a little bit hungry. It's not that bad. Though hunger will decrease over time. And yeah, just be realistic. You have 2 months. Don't expect to look fucking bodybuilder jacked, but you will look extremely better in 2 months. As you saw in my picture, I did a lot of progress in 3 months. That is crazy progress in my opinion. And that was 3 months. Okay, you have 2 months, you can do maybe even better than me. Okay, I was not training that hard. I was not actually training, maybe. I was doing some planks. Or maybe I had some exercise, but that is the point. Be realistic, you have 2 months. I hope you the best. I'm happy you started this journey. I hope you keep it up for life, because once you get healthy, you really don't want to get unhealthy. I don't know why, but once you get on the right path, it's kind of hard to go back. So I really wish you the best. Let me know if you have any question. I hope this helped. Tell me what you learned in the comments or in the DMs, and I'll see you. Bye bye.